So, how to filter out the wrong woman before you get attached? So, right now, you probably meet attractive women, but things fall apart after maybe 1 2 month, few dates, or you get emotionally invested early on before checking the right filter, before you check if it could be a good match. You ignore early red flags because of attraction, or you can even realize incompatibility after you are already getting attached, and it starts to get really, really hard for you to get kind of rid of this relationship or to stop dating this woman when you are already emotionally involved. So this is what we are going to see in this video. So for those who don't know me, I'm Marie. I'm a dating mentor for high achieving men, and I help you to attract and keep your dream feminine woman through the secrets of female psychology. So now I'm going to talk about what is actually happening. It's not that you're choosing women wrong, it's that you are filtering too late. You are filtering when there's already an emotional connection that has been installed, and when you have not checked if she is the right one since the beginning, if you have not checked your negotiables, your non-negotiables, your green flags, your red flags, and you truly have your emotions who come before clarity, which is really strange because high achieving men work a lot on logic, but when they have to make a logical decision, they tend to go more with the emotion when they are already attached. And no structure qualification process is what will lead you to be sad, to feel empty, to go into the wrong relationship, and you might end up in a divorce. So this is the ending we don't want. So what we will do today is that after this video, you will be able to identify misaligned women early to avoid unnecessary emotional investment and to protect your time, your focus, and your energy, and to lead interaction with a clear internal framework. So this is really important for me that you do not waste time, focus, and energy, because as a high achieving man, because I'm working with high achievers, as a high achieving man, this is what you don't want to lose: your focus, your time, and your energy, because I don't want you to have a negative experience of dating because of a filtering issue. So, first, before going into the different filters, we have to address the filtering mindset. So, weak men will hope that, so when they are emotionally involved already, they will hope that it will work out. They will hope that she will change her mind, maybe about having children. They will hope that they will have at some point the same life goals, the same vision of life. And strong men, they filter. You don't convince a woman that this is the way to do it. You don't convince a woman to follow what you want. You observe, you qualify, and you decide. And what you have to understand is that a feminine, grounded woman is doing the exact same exercise as you are doing. So it's really important to do this filtering at the early stages of dating. And so here we're going to do a full video with the different filters. But if you want, you also have a document in the description below who goes way more in details with examples. So you can just download it below. So the first filter is the life direction and purpose. So here we have one core question, which is, does she have a sense of purpose that complements rather than compete with yours? What I mean by this, does she speak about her work, her interests, or contribution with genuine engagement? Does she have relationships, hobbies, or commitment that exist independently of dating? When she talks about the future, does she include her own vision or only relationship milestone? Does she respect and support your goals, or does she see them as competition for attention? So it's truly important, especially high as a high achiever, especially as an entrepreneur, that you understand what type of goal and vision you have in life, in relationship, and with a partner, because you have to have a woman who does not need you. What I mean by that is that you cannot have a woman who rely 100% on you. And this is with this type of question that you can see since the literally the early stages of dating, since the first few dates. You can see if she was waiting to be saved or she actually has her own life, because it can have a huge negative impact at the end of your relationship, and it can end up in a breakup if you don't check and if you don't ask yourself this question first. Then we have lifestyle compatibility. So the core question, does the way she naturally lives create harmony or friction with the life I'm building? So important to ask you this question. So, does she value health and self care, or is she neglectful of her well being? Because we have to understand that if you're serious about fitness and this is what you're looking in a partner, someone who takes care of her health, it's important for you to filter out if she does not take care of herself, if she does not eat healthy and you're someone who eats healthy, if she does not move her body. I'm not saying that if you're truly almost a fitness athlete, I'm not saying she must be a fitness athlete, but what that means is that health is important to you. And if she does not even, I don't know, go for walk every single day, or if she does not eat healthy, it will probably doesn't work on the long term. It might sound ridiculous, but when you start to live with a person and you see the person with bad habits, when you're the one having a lot of good habits, and even when you will have children and when you will need to raise the children, it's important to understand that will sound small at the beginning and will sound like, okay, I will be able to deal with this, might be a huge issue in the future. How does she manage her environment? A woman's living space often reflects how she will manage a shared home. Does she handle money responsibly, or does she live reactively and avoid planning? Does she need constant stimulation and activity, or does she appreciate quiet and presence? So, what I mean by constant stimulation is, for example, uh, does she need a lot of quick dopamine? So, for example, watching a lot of screens, so like scrolling, watching a lot of Netflix, a lot of YouTube, a lot of many different media. But if she craves all the time this quick dopamine, and this is something you don't want in your life, she is probably not a woman for you. She literally, if she cannot live in a more quiet environment and a more an environment where she can be way more present, she might not be a good match for you, and you have to be able to understand since the beginning. So then, does she respect your need for focus and solitude, or does she interpret it as rejection, especially as an entrepreneur, as a high achiever? You work a lot, you need time to focus, you sometimes you will not have a lot of energy, and it's important, and this is something you will also see through communication, but it's important that she understand that you working a lot and you focusing a lot is not rejection. And this is something you will have to communicate about with her. But if this is something she does not understand, she will always feel rejected in the relationship. She will always feel like she's not good enough. You're not even paying attention to her. So you should pay attention to her. But it's really important to understand that a woman who sees you working a lot as rejecting her is probably not a good match, even though this is something you have to communicate and to talk about before making a crucial decision if you're currently in a relationship with someone like this. And if you want to attract and keep a feminine woman aligned at your level, don't forget to click the first link in the description below to book a call with me and see if I could help you out. So then the third one, we have children and family vision. Okay, so this one is so important. Especially I'm working a lot with men who are more traditional and who have a more traditional vision of family. So the core question, do we share the same vision for family, or are we hoping that the other person will change her mind? Okay, so if she does not want to have children, you want to have children, even though there's chemistry, even though everything else is aligned, if having children is a non-negotiable for you, then she's not the one, and you have to filter her out as quick as possible, because a woman doesn't wake up one day wanting to have kids just like this. So, and same for you. If you don't want to have children, maybe you already had children, you divorced or whatever. If one of the two does not want to have children, it's no. It's a no. It's a no. It's too big of a question. It's a complete no. So, does she speak, and how you can address this actually is, does she speak positively about family and children, or with ambivalence? So, we have to understand it's not about going on dates and asking questions. Okay, do you want kids? How many? It's not an interview, but it's about talking about the future, talking about goals, talking about vision, and to see what type of topic does she try to avoid, what type of topic does she start to talk with joy, with a lot of pleasure, what type of topic she really don't, you see that she does not want to talk about. If she is family driven, if she truly wants to have children, she will mention the fact that she wants to have children. She will mention how beautiful it will be in her life. She will talk about having a smile, having this projection. She could talk about this, about the children, about the education, about the things she wants to do with them and the father. For she could talk about this topic for hours, literally. So when she talks about her future family, is it vague or and theoretical, or specific and grounded? Does she have clarity about timing, or is everything someday? If she says someday, yes, I might want to have children. What you want is someone who knows what she wants in her life. If it's someday, it's not enough of an information. Don't get me wrong. If, for example, she's trendy, I can understand the someday. But if you're talking to a woman who might be more 25, 30, 35, 40, even more, if she tells you on any topic, on any goal or vision she has someday, that means that she is not clear enough on her vision. And same for you. If you're too much talking with someday, one day, I might, this gives an idea of this person does not know what he or she wants. So it's so important. Then, does her current life reflect someone preparing for family? So you have financial responsibility, emotional maturity, values around health and home. So if she's a woman, for example, who travels a lot, do you see that she start to want to settle down somewhere? Do you see that she is talking about the fact that it's important for her to settle down, to have more of a routine? Then you see that it's someone who is trying to build something in order to bring kind of this new family with her. So important. If you want a traditional structure, does she speak about motherhood and homemaking with genuine desire or obligation? Because what we have to understand is nowadays many people have different values and their different way of seeing how does a family function. So obviously I'm talking to men who are way more traditional, and there's many women who are way more traditional nowadays. But we have to understand is that there's still women who are not traditional and who are not made for you. So there are still women who maybe I don't know, it can be you want to have a more strict education for your children, and maybe she's too relaxed about this. She's too relaxed about, oh, but they can do whatever they want, they can do this. Or maybe you don't want your children to be influenced by LGBTQ, I don't know what community, and maybe she's super open about this. And it can be a mismatch. And be really careful about this, because it's not just about I want to have children, she wants to have children in that many years. It's also about values, positioning, and opinion. And this is why it's so important for you to be able on dates to give and to share your own opinion. Because when you give and share your own opinion on certain topics, I'm not saying you should do it on date number one, but it's important to sometimes share a strong opinion to see how does she react, does she agree to what you're saying, because it will have an impact. And I mentioned LGBTQ. It's too long. I don't even know the word anymore. But why do I mention this? Because this is now a huge issue in some families, and some families are splitting, getting into divorce, because one parent allows the kid to be really open about it and one parent does not allow it. So this is not just about having children, it's not just about having children in 2 years, it's also about the values and the type of life you want to give, and and the type of activities, like everything you want to do with your children. And this is how you will see if she might be a good mother. Obviously, I'm talking about children because we're in the family section. If you don't feel concerned, you can jump straight to the character and accountability. So now, character and accountability filter. So the core question is, does she take responsibility for her life and her choices, or does she position herself as a victim of circumstances? What you have to understand is that we're talking here about different filters, and I want you to ask yourself as well these questions. It's important to not just expect something from someone, but to also ask yourself all these questions, because your feminine grounded woman also has her filters, And if you can respond to them properly and in a really authentic way, it's way better. So, when she talks about past relationship, does she take any responsibility, or is she always the wrong party? So, is she talking badly about her ex? Oh, but yeah, he was a narcissistic. Oh yeah, but he was evil. He was this. He did this to me. I'm not saying you can never be in the wrong relationship, but it's never 100% someone's fault. Like, even when it's close to 100% someone's fault, if the person is grounded, the person will take a part of accountability. And ask yourself also this question when you go on dates. When you go on dates, how do you actually talk about your ex? How do you talk about your family? How do you talk about your friends, about your colleagues? Because she will also have these filters in mind. So this is really important for you to answer these questions as well. When she makes a mistake, does she acknowledge it directly or deflect and justify? Does she speak about her emotional patterns with awareness, or treat her feelings up as the absolute truth? Can she apologize without immediately adding but? Does she respect your leadership and perspective, or does she need to be right in every disagreement? Because if she wants to be right in every disagreement, the relationship will be really, really, really awful. So, and I'm not saying when she wants to be right, but laughing about. Like, sometimes some women will, oh no, but women are always right. This is just laughing. It's a joke. So don't take this as, oh, she wants to be always right. She says she's always right. You still have to do the distinction between the joke and between if she's truly serious about it. Filter number one, it's emotional maturity under pressure. So the core question here is, does she stay grounded when life gets harder, or does she spiral into reactivity and chaos? Because as a high achievers, if there's something you don't want, is a chaotic woman, a chaotic partner, a chaotic relationship in your life. You want peace, but you do not want chaos, and that's for sure. So how does she respond when plans change unexpectedly? Does she catastrophize a minor inconvenience or maintain perspective? Can she express frustration without attacking or withdrawing? When she's stressed, does she manage her state or project it onto everyone around her? Does she recover from emotional upset relatively quickly or hold onto it for days? Can she disagree with you respectfully, or does conflicts become a personal attack? Here we have the bonus filter, which is faith and value framework. So values, obviously, so important. If your core values are not similar, we have a big issue. But something we almost never address, and I never see it almost on social media, is about faith. So I work mainly with men who are in the US, in Europe. I have some clients in Australia, and now I also have some clients in Dubai. What tend to happen is that some men are okay with being in a relationship with there's two different religions. They are okay with this, they are okay with the ID, and the woman is okay with the ID. They have this feeling of, okay, we can get married in the two religion. Sometimes, a lot of the time, they want a specific religion. They want a specific religion, or the woman doesn't see herself being married to someone in another religion. So it's truly, truly, truly important. If religion is non-negotiable for you, if for example you're Catholic and she's Muslim, if you don't want, if she truly wants to be with a Muslim, it cannot work. If you are open to do two marriages, I know some people do it apparently in the US. If you're open to do two marriages, but for her it's Muslim or nothing, and it's fundamental for you to keep your religion, don't go in this relationship. It's obvious, but seriously, I think it's really important for me to say it out loud again. So, does she have a spiritual or religious practice that actually informs her life, or is it cultural decoration? When you talk about meaning, purpose, or molarity, do your conversation feel aligned and or fundamentally opposed? Because also we talked about children previously. How, under which religion, if you do have a religion, under which religion do you want to raise your children? If you do a mix in between two religion, this is a really important question to ask yourself. If children are part of your vision, so how does she imagine raising them spiritually and morally? Does she respect your belief and values, or does she dismiss or even mock them? If she mocks your religion, if she mocks your values, this is a huge red flag. And same, if you do it with a woman, you are a huge red flag. If you value traditional gender dynamics rooted in faith, does she embrace our framework or resist it? So please be careful if you have a religion, if you believe in God, if you have strong values. I guess if you're listening to my channel, you do have strong values. Please be careful about this because it can be okay at the beginning. You can deal with it at the beginning, but the moment you're talking about marriage and the moment you're talking about raising children is the moment everything breaks. Now, most men know what they should be filtered for. They just don't have the confidence to actually do it. We need to understand that I made this video because many men come to me and tell me that they went in this relationship and it was not the right relationship. And we have a conversation, we talk, ask you questions, and the person knows deep down that since the beginning it was not the right relationship and that this could have been prevented. And so they both lost time, energy, and focus on the wrong person. Sometimes it's months, sometimes it's years, sometimes they have even children with this person. So the idea here is not just to be aware of this filter, but it's to have the confidence and the ability to apply them in real life, to not just feel chemistry and forget about these filters. Because if you forget about this filter and you just rely on, chemistry, what will happen is that you will end up in a relationship that does not match what you're looking for, and you will end up in a breakup, in a divorce. The moment you will want something more serious, the moment you will want to have children, the moment your ambition is way bigger than hers, or she is not aligned with some of your values, is the moment you go into a wall, like literally. It's And if you just have chemistry, you do not have anything. This is why the foundation is so important. And how do you do to have a strong foundation is with a woman is by filtering out the wrong woman, and by building an emotional connection with women who truly match what you want. And how do you do this is by also understanding what you want as a person, what you want as a man, in a partner and in a relationship. Because if you do not know what you want in a partner and in a relationship as a man, you will not be able to apply these filters as well, because you will not even know how to filter out. So some men have idea of the type of filter they need to use, and they don't. Some men don't even know, like they will have just basic filter, but like not truly filter, that will avoid them to waste time, energy on the wrong woman. Now, so this was a value asset, and for the next value asset, I would like you to choose a topic. So I would like you to comment on this video: women for female psychology and men for masculine identity. And if I have more women comments, I will do a video more on female psychology. If I have more men comments, then I will do a video on a masculine sorry identity. And if this video truly helped you out, feel free to like it, hit that subscribe button, and share it with a friend who might need it.